Hi, welcome to one of my videos. I haven't done a video for a long time. I'm Jenny, the artistic stamper, and this is a video showing you how to use alcohol inks on shrink plastic and then putting them into a mini book. This is my book, you can see how small it is, and this is an altered book, and I have done several pages in it already, including this one, which is what I'm going to show you how to do. This is a shrink plastic butterfly. It's one of our large butterflies, and it's a great fun technique. So you want to take a piece of yupo paper and some colours of alcohol ink. I used some green and some blue and a little bit of yellow. And I might do a touch of red as well. 4 colours is very unusual for me to do 4 colours. So I'm just going to cover the yupo paper in the alcohol ink. Now the yupo paper acts as a palette, if you don't know already. And I am then going to put it onto some inkjet shrinkable paper. Inkjet shrinkable plastic. And it works. I don't know why, it just does. I'm using the alcohol liftoff ink with it and my large butterfly, which is like that. So I'll have a go. The alcohol ink needs to dry to use the alcohol liftoff ink pad, and the yupo can't be dried too much, so it just needs to be just dry, and the reason it can't dry too much is because it will shrink up. So I'm going to take the liftoff ink and I'm going to ink up my stamp. And then I'm going to stamp onto my palette. That's close. I'm going to do it this way around. Should have turned the paper. Give it a good stamp down. Lift it off. Ooh. And then take the ink pad, leave that to one side. Take the shrink plastic, which I'll put onto another piece of paper so you can see. I just cut enough up for the butterfly and then print onto the shrink plastic. Now this, I don't know if it has a key or not. It is inkjet shrinkable, so I think it does have a key to some degree. Make sure you clean your stamp afterwards. And then I'm just going to put that to one side. And while this is still wet, I am going to dab off very gently the lift-off ink. You have to get it all off. If you can see it, if it's wet, it's worth taking it off because you get the most wonderful. It needs to all come off. So a tiny bit of paper, make sure it's all off. If you start rubbing it while it is still wet, it will shift and not give you such a good negative image. Takes a little bit of time, a little bit of work. And then turn your paper over. So you've got a clean bit and just give it a good rub. Kind of polishes it. It's a really neat technique. And you can use that in another page. So I just put that to one side. Oh, there you go. There you go. Okay, I'll put that to one side. And then I'm going to take the shrink plastic and I'm going to cut this up. Now I could do a Blue Peter and tell you that I have done it earlier. I have done several, but I wanted to show you that I don't cut it it's not as, I just cut it. I don't spend hours cutting it. When you get to the antennae, cut them quite thick, away from the printing, because they will curl when you heat it up to shrink it, and you don't want them to. Oh, I just cut one off. Oh well, there you go. Mistakes are always made in my art. It's going to be a one antennae butterfly. Once it's shrunk, you can't, it's really difficult to cut anything off, so I'm kind of thinking here now, while I'm cutting, that perhaps I might cut his other one off and draw them in. So, you know, it's a preference thing, really. So I'm just going to cut his other antennae off, put those away. I'm going to get myself a tray to heat in and a heat gun, and I'm going to shrink it just by gently heating it. I do have a pair of tweezers here, so I could use them as well. So he'll just shrink up, and his colours intensify, so he's going to be a really nice butterfly, I hope. Now, it does this if you just give it a quick poke, or give a spin, but it will flatten out. And hopefully it won't stick. Of course, all good things. Now I'm just going to oh, there he goes, he's uncurling himself. Just have to be patient. People get very afraid of things like this. Just be patient and he will flatten out. You can give him a little helping hand with a pair of tweezers. And the best helping hand is a block. So once he's warm, if you get a block and just stick it on top, it'll flatten him out. And he's hot. So there you go. One shrink plastic butterfly. Now I chose to put him into a book, altar book, like that, and so I have taken some pages and I've glued 3 or 4 together, and I've gone round him with a pencil. So I've drawn round the butterfly with a pencil, and I've cut out the paper shape, and then he will sit just nicely inside there, with or without his antennae. So I'm just going to decorate the page, and I'm using Distress Oxides with this. I'll just put that away. I've got 3 colours. These are the new ones: Barn Door, Mustard Seed, and a Stormy Sky. And I'm just going to put a piece of paper behind so you don't go onto another page. I am just going to put some colour down on the page randomly, and then Barn Door. Bit of Barn Door, bit more yellow, bit of blue. I always end up at the end of the day with 2 sides that I have not covered, and then I end up with 2 colours together. So heat dry it, just because that sets the ink really more than anything else. And then you can decorate the page. So you can put stamps on it, you can put stencils on it, you can use Distress Oxides. I have got one of our artistic stamper stencils, and I'm just going to randomly put some stenciling through that. I quite like that. little bit down the edge there. And perhaps a little tiny bit up there. And then I'm going to take some stamps. And again, same thing. I'm going to take, this is, actually used green on this. I used old paper because I've already done this. And I just rub the ink pad and just put it down. Just layering. Just layering. And then I might take a couple more stamps. I couldn't make my mind up, so I decided that I would take one of my spirals and go over that as well. And just adding more stamps. Just to give it a bit more oomph. So that's the page finished. Now, got to find my butterfly, which I've put down somewhere, which would be about right for me. Oh, there it is. Now, you can put the butterfly in like that, and I think he's rather good, but I actually think he needs something behind him. So it is quite a hard one, that. It's the sort of thing that you're not sure about, because I like the book coming through, but I think he's getting lost. So I'm just going to flip the page, and I'm going to add one of the 4 colours that I have here at the back, which is quite difficult. So I think I'll probably go with the yellow and probably regret it, but we'll go for the yellow. It's actually mustard seeds. It's a nice colour. And put him in there. And again, I think he's got lost. So, however, he kind of sinks into the page. It's rather cute. I rather like that. So I have to make my mind up. Do I put blue in or do I put yellow? I might go and put blue on. So in order to do that, the one thing with Distress Oxides is that you need to heat dry it if you want the colour to be true when it comes on. So I'm just going to heat dry it. And then I'm going to put the blue on, which I think is this one, the Distress Oxide. This is Stormy Sky. So I'm going to put Stormy Sky on there. And because I'm going to glue the page down, it's actually gone green, so it's obviously not dry enough. But I think that pops him out a bit more. Am I sure? No. But the idea is there for you. So I am going to glue him down. I use Cosmic Shimmer, which sticks almost anything. And of course, this one, the glue's got stuck, so I get a pen. Get a pin and give it a. I left it open, which was never a good idea. So I'm just going to glue him on the back. And glue him. Now I'm going to glue that down, and I'm going to glue him on, and so that he's in the right spot. And then I'm going to go back, oops, and I'm going to glue the page down. Now normally I use glue stick for doing all my altered books, but on this occasion I am going to use Cosmic Shimmer, because I want the book to actually sit close. Okay, I haven't forgotten, I need to put a couple of wings on him, antennae on him, because he's got lost in there, and he probably needed a little bit more cutting off there. Having glued him down now, I am just going to lift that a little bit, and with a pair of scissors I'm just going to cut that bit there. That's it. Now it will all glue, it just takes a bit of time. That's it. That's better. Okay, that's better. And you might want to glue him a bit more. He's not quite flat, which is why he's sticking out. And he needs a couple of nice antennae there. So a white pen, which I'm going to just test that works, and a white pen with a couple of antennae. Maybe even a black pen would work better, slightly better, or a blue pen. But you get the idea. You get the idea. So that is my stamping with alcohol ink on shrink plastic, on printable shrink plastic. And I can see I haven't cut another bit there, but that's the idea. So that is this little guy and this little guy. And hopefully you'll come back and watch me do a little bit more to my altar book at some point in time in the future. Thank you for watching. Bye.